In Christian doctrine, we have some words we don't often try to define, and they mean a lot to us. They are words that carry meaning when it comes to what we believe. So today I'm going to attempt to start a series of definitions of such words. Things like grace, things like sin. Those of you who understand 𝗙𝗀𝗪, you had the privilege from this morning of hearing the teaching, the series in 𝗙𝗀𝗪 and Kirundi for those who are in Burundi. I will be interested to see if you get a better understanding as you follow also in English. So today I'm going to start with sin. What is sin? Sin is a very, very interesting concept, especially in the West where I live. When I was growing up, the word sinful, that something is sinful, the weight that carried is what we have here in the West when we said that someone is illegal. It's how I can compare it. Back home, when someone was behaving in a way that is not acceptable, people thought of it as being sinful. But here, the concept of sin and sinful has disappeared. What has replaced it is something is illegal or legal. Interesting. In the Middle Ages, there was a theologian called Saint Anselm of Canterbury. He wrote really good stuff, good theology. One of the books he wrote is called Why the God Man, and he defines the condition of man, the sinfulness of man, as a debt that we are indebted to God. The image comes from Isaiah chapter 5 when a farmer plants a vineyard and he does all kinds of good, expecting the good fruits, and he doesn't get any. And Anselm says, doesn't the maker of man, who created us for his glory, he had his initiative, his project, his plan was for man, that man should give him glory. Now, instead of giving him glory, we turn around, and this is his words. He says, we spit in his face. So he then says that man owes honor to God. So when you sin, you get indebted to God. And this is where the doctrine of satisfaction comes in, that someone has to satisfy God. Not that someone has to pay to the devil anything, but that there is a debt owed, and if man is to be right with God, someone has to pay it. And obviously, in that book, it's a beautiful book. He says, look, the one who owes the debt is not able to pay it because it's an infinite offense to God. And the one who can pay it does not owe the debt. That's why we need the God man who can both owe the debt as man and also be able to pay it as God. So sin, at least according to some theologians, is debt.